An ambassador to Christ does not represent him or herself, but the glory, the authority, and the words of the living God. There is no Satan, no devil, or anybody else who can overcome that. We can only oppose that. Whom he called, he also qualified, it says. Most of you have had disastrous lives, so you think that was part of your qualifications. See, I'm kind of bold now. Without the drugs, you can never talk to someone addicted by drugs. By the way, it's a plague in this world. Without being among whatever your discipline is, whatever you did wrong in your life, if you were around billionaires and millionaires, so be it. Now you know how to speak to them too. You also have compassion upon those you're sent to. Isn't that wonderful? You have to have understanding about those you're sent to. Paul was raised that he may be sent to the Gentiles who lived the same way he did. Paul was somewhat ruthless. He had to be sent to those who were ruthless. Peter couldn't do it. How could Peter do it? Peter couldn't do that. Peter was sent. Where was Peter sent? Do you guys remember? What about John? Where was he sent? There are people in your background, your family members and everybody else. You're being qualified to understand exactly why they do what they do, because you lived in one of their lives. Isn't that wonderful? It's not awful. It's wonderful. We think so backward sometimes. If you were raised and you were just a lying thief and a scoundrel, you've been qualified to go back to the lying, thieving scoundrels, that you may have compassion and understanding upon them, because you have to know their war. Someone who's not been of a background of a prostitute, how can they ever connect to a prostitute? You see that with the disciples, you really do. Whom he called, he also qualified. You're qualified for your calling. But what has happened is this. Many people have called themselves because they're so embarrassed about their own past. Right? Now follow me. Because they're so embarrassed about the deeds they have done in their lives, they totally disconnect from it and go to a whole nother group of which they cannot relate to. Some of you have that with your family members. You say, well, they don't want to hear a word I have to say. No, they're supposed to see the life you live. They can hear your life you live. They don't hear what you have to say. They hear how you live. They're sitting there watching you. Everything you do. How is it that they know everything you do? Because they're sitting there watching. With your family, you live a ministry toward them. They will provoke you to the ends of the earth, and your response must be of the kingdom. That's how they learn. That is correction for them. They will see it's possible. But if you attempt to talk and smash mashed potato, or the gospel, right, down their mouth like mashed potatoes, you're going to provoke them. Because they think they already know you. Right? They think they already know what you're going to say before you say it. You can pour out your heart and they'll say, oh, you're just too biblical. But they can never deny how you live. And it doesn't matter what they've heard, it matters what they see. They can hear all sorts of bad things about you. But because your family, when they see how you respond, that makes a difference for them. But the things you've been in, you have been a part of the people you are sent to connect with. See, with the Word of God, you must have love. How can one love a prostitute if they don't know what prostitutes go through? How can you love an addicted person when you've never been addicted to anything? You say, well, I don't see what's so hard about just stopping and saying no. You can't even relate to a person who's been addicted. You have to be able to reach them. You've been qualified to reach them. Some people out there are struggling right now. You're saying, well, I'm trying to stop. I'm trying. Well, don't worry. Because one day you're going to say, Lord, I need to represent you, and I can't do that this way. And then your motive for stopping will be real and true. Stop things for the sake of another person, and then when that other person is gone, they pick up the habit again. Because their motivation was within the earth, not necessarily of a truth. Some people represent the Lord. They're still addicted to things. And then they realize, I can't do this unless I cause one of these little ones to slip. Lord, you've got to help me in this. And then you get stern. And you start saying things like, I will break this. I knew I slipped up yesterday. I will break this, because you're doing it not for yourself. You're doing it not for the reasons most men would think you would do it. You're not trying to live longer. You're going to do it so that you can properly represent the Lord in this earth. Now you're doing it for an unending cause. That's when it will be broken.